Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary, and we're back with some more BattleTech. In previous videos, I've been doing some side mission contracts, and they've been going pretty well, but I think it's time we move on and do the priority mission that we have available. I would like to have this mech bay upgrade finished, though, so we'll have to see, as far as the travel time goes, on how much we're going to have there and whether or not that'd be done in time. So let's just go ahead and move over to the contract and see. Because we do have to travel to do this mission. Yeah, 23 days. So that's plenty of time to get that upgrade done. Before I leave, though, I would like to take a look at the storage, make sure we're not leaving anything behind, because this is a travel hub. So there should be some interesting items here. So looking... we have an autocannon 5 that has a damage upgrade, so that seems pretty tempting. Moving along, we have a large laser with a damage upgrade. Okay. LRM-15, stability damage. Now, we are using LRM-15s in our trebuchet, so that could be an upgrade worth getting, but stability damage, and that's all I'd be getting. I don't know how much it'd be worth the price I'd have to pay for it. Okay, moving along. All right, so this is interesting. So we have a new type of equipment that we could pick up here, and it's comm system. Now, it doesn't take any tonnage, but it increases the morale gain that we get. And I would imagine this is an increase per mech that we slotted in. All right, that's pretty tempting. Now, it's kind of expensive. We'd have to do this 4 times at the least to have the full benefit if we wanted to. Okay, well... I think we buy some of these, because this is an interesting system. It's the first time I'm seeing something like this. And morale gain is pretty important, because it allows you to use the morale abilities more often. So, we only have one here, so I'm just going to buy that one. Okay, accept.
New equipment available.
I think we get the autocannon. It also looks like we are... yeah, we're paying less than the value now, so it must be because the, yeah, reputation discount, 5%. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and buy this item. So this is going to be a good place to shop for things. I think we get the large laser, too. That seems to be a pretty decent upgrade. Damage upgrades, I think, are always worth it. So let's go ahead and buy this one, too. We can afford it. They're not that expensive. I'm going to pass on the LRM-15 just because I don't think that it is that great of an upgrade. But let's see about actually installing some of those things. So the generator is currently being worked on, but it will only take a day and then it'll be done. Where should we put that comm system? It kind of makes sense to put it in the light mech, but there is a possibility that the light mech will take damage and will lose that ability. Might also make sense to put it in the trebuchet, because that mech is in the back, usually. Now, the large laser, I don't know if I'm going to have the ability to use right out the gate. And the autocannon would make sense in the blackjack, because now we'd be giving the blackjack the amount of damage it had before. When we downgraded it, removing the the AC2s, we lost 5 damage. If we were to add in that upgraded autocannon 5, though, we'd be going back up to the 5 damage that we lost, so we'd be at that same baseline. So we're really not losing anything for all the gains that we got. So that'd be pretty important upgrade if we were going to stick with the blackjack, which I'm not sure we will. So I'm not going to do that upgrade purely for that reason, because it's spending money and time doing something that, let's say I get a new a mech. What is the mech that I would send back down? It'd more than likely be the blackjack. So... as in put in storage. All right, well, let's go ahead and take that contract. I think we've done everything. I could do the leveling up of mech warriors, but we have our financial report coming in 20 days. That will happen before we get to the system, so I think it is probably a good idea to go ahead with the contract. Now, as far as talking to the various crew members, I don't think they have anything new to say. No, they're not going to have anything new to say. Probably not until we take this contract. So let's go ahead and take the contract. So, Liberation Panzer, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. Proceed to Panzer, where you will assist the Restoration Army's efforts to liberate House Decimus. Restoration Army intel suggests that a lance built with long-range fire capabilities could prove advantageous on this drop. Further details will be provided upon your arrival. This is our first big push to liberate a founding house of the Arigan Coalition. I don't know what to expect any more than you do, but I'd suggest rolling in with the best mechs we've got, you know, just in case. All right, well, I think we have pretty good long-range firepower, at least with the Centurion and the Trebuchet. So I think we can do this one. Let's go ahead and travel. So we should get interrupted as soon as that Jenner gets finished, and then I'm going to immediately go into the mech bay, and we are going to upgrade the Jenner. I'm going to do the Jenner, I think. It's between the Jenner and the Trebuchet. I think the Trebuchet has less chance it will get beat up. But, you know, just for role-playing aspect, it makes sense that the Scout would have the best comm system. So we're going to go with the role-playing reason of why we're putting it in here. So it doesn't take up any tonnage, which is good. But it does take up a slot. I would imagine it goes in the head would be the wise place to put it. Let's go to equipment, because that's what it's going to be. It has to go in the head. So that's an interesting element, because I think most mechs only have one head slot, and some mechs are going to have a weapon in that head slot. So I don't know if any of the mechs that we have that, but something to keep in mind. All right, well, that's all we need to do.
Right. I'll get it.
It's saying 1 day. Okay, yeah, it is actually going to take that 1 day. Sometimes when you do a refit, it says 1 day, and then it instantly completes. So okay, we're good to go there. We could probably afford to do the upgrade of the Blackjack. It's just a matter of, I mean, we are going to get the second mech bay in 17 days, and we're not going to have any more battles. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do this refit of the Blackjack. It's not like we lost any time here. So we'll just remove the AC5 and replace it with the upgraded one, which is going to do more damage. The only reason we might not want to do this is if we wanted to put the upgraded AC5 with the damage on my Shadowhawk, which honestly we may want to do. Hold on. Let's see about that, because I don't remember what the upgraded autocannon there did. I know we have one, but I just don't remember what its abilities were. I don't know, yeah, hovering over it. So it does more stability damage the way it is now. So is the damage important enough to remove this in place of that damage? Stability damage could be pretty important, and we are kind of going with a build that goes pretty heavily on stability damage, as we've been knocking a lot of mechs down. So you know what? I think I stick with that one. But the Blackjack, we'll go ahead and refit it. So at the moment, the Blackjack is just a backup mech for us. But this switch is going to be pretty important, I think, because as I said, we're regaining damage we lost by doing that refit. It was a compromise to give us more heat dissipation with the heat sinks, and I think we got a little bit more armor, if I remember correctly. But this is just a little bit of a change, so it shouldn't take too long. 3 days, that's not too bad. Okay, we're done there. Now, out of storage, what do we have? So we have the Vindicator, which we may end up calling up. And then we have a Spider, a Locust, and a Locust. The main thing that we'd probably want to call up would be the Vindicator. But we'll see. We might be able to get other mechs in here. We're very close to getting a Hunchback. We're pretty close to getting a second Centurion. So we're getting there. All right, let's go back to the Argo and play. I don't think I have any other changes that we need to make.
Job's done, Commander.
Now that large laser could be slotted into the Vindicator, and we're actually not too far away from the damage of a PPC. PPC does 50 damage. That large laser with the upgrade is going to do 45. That's only a difference of 5, and you're cutting out 2 tons. So we could do a lot with that change. All right, let's continue here, because I don't feel like we have anything else to do except maybe talk to crew members. So let's see if anybody has new things to say. No, they don't, because we haven't actually engaged that campaign yet, that mission. So, okay, a traveler's in need. In the daily briefing, Samire brings up an open hail from a nearby ship. They say their crew has contracted a virulent case of the periphery pox, but the local government is preventing them from landing to receive medical care. Darius shrugs. We could sell them some of our medical supplies. It would limit us in the medbay for a bit, but given the situation, I'd expect they'd pay up. Dr. Murad bristles at this suggestion. Spacers should stick together, Commander. Besides, the local authorities might appreciate our generosity. All right, so let's see. Stay out of it. Sell them medical supplies. Oh, okay. There is apparently a thing where you can get pox antivirals. We haven't actually done that, so that's not going to happen. So we either sell them the medical supplies or we give them the medical supplies. Well, 30,000 is not that much in the grand scheme of things, so I'm just going to give it to them. Yunada, Dr. Murad. We're only one bad buck away from the same situation ourselves. Make arrangements for a transfer of supplies. Several days later, Samire passes along a message of thanks from the planet's surface for resolving the situation favorably. The company suffers -1 medical point for 14 days. You know, we're almost there, so by the time this passes, I mean, we'll only have 1 day of it left, so that's not that big of a deal. And we gain 1 reputation with the Arana Restoration, which honestly, we're already probably pretty good with reputation for them, but we could double check that. So I haven't looked at the reputation in a while. Let's see where we are, where we stand. So the Arana Restoration, we're at 56, so we're doing quite well there. And that 1 is, you know, kind of a drop in the bucket, but, you know, it gets us moving. We're 5 with most people, but we haven't really done any jobs with them. So, you know, it's neither, you know, good nor bad, I would say. The Capellan Confederation is our second best at 13, probably because we've done more missions with them. And then the Canopians are like us at 11. So, I mean, we're still indifferent with them. So I would imagine we're not getting any discounts or anything like that in their system. But, all right. Let's continue on here. Now, we will hit that financial report. I may have to go down to normal finances rather than paying extra for the morale. Just where we are at the moment with our money. Because I did just buy some things, and that will cost probably, I don't know, about 400,000, give or take. So we'd be down to 1 million. I mean, yeah, I can afford that. So, you know, it depends. All right, so this is done. So let's take a look at the mech bay real quick. All right, so we have a full mech bay here. Do we want to call a mech up? Because at this moment, we're not doing anything. And if, you know, I don't see a reason why not to call up the Vindicator. It's probably going to be a while before we fill this thing up. So let's go ahead and call up the Vindicator. So we're going to ready this. It's going to take 1 day, which is not going to take any time at all. Now, obviously, refitting it will take time as well. So we'll get on that. I'll probably refit it pretty creatively. I might not go to the default. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to go to the ship upgrades. Okay, so we got that mech bay done. We could do some of these things. Let's see what kind of time frame we're talking about. So we get more tech points in both regards. One's going to be a little bit more time than the other. Training module I'm really tempted to do. This gives us more morale. It's going to cost a lot and take a lot of time to do. We don't need the power systems yet. Structural repair. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do training module because it doesn't take a lot of time and it's pretty cheap. Then I'm going to do structure after that because that will open up some of the other things, I think. What do we need for the last one? So we need improved power conduits and structural repair. I don't know if these are that important to me right now, especially as we just open up the next mech bay. That's going to allow us to have backup mechs now. We don't have a ton though, so it may be important, but maybe I'll go with training module then this, because it's only 10 days. It's a lot of money though. Yeah, let's go with this first though. let's purchase this.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Take a bit, but
And this will make it so that I can always use my best pilots, and then the extra pilots that we have, they'll be getting trained. They'll be getting that experience that we need them to get. So, okay, let's go ahead and play. We're going to get stopped when the Vindicator's ready.
Wrapped up that job you
Let's go ahead and go into the mech bay, and we will set that mech up. So, let's refit it. All right, so I think I want to do the large laser. So let's just remind ourselves what the stock is. So the stock is a PPC in the right arm, a medium laser in the head. As we've discussed, if you have something in the head, you're not going to be able to put that comm system in. Although this will be a backup mech, so I don't know if that really matters. We've got the jump jets, which we should have 4 of if we want to go with that. We've got 3 heat sinks in the right torso, 3 heat sinks in the left torso, an LRM-5 with the LRM ammo, a small laser in the left arm, and then jump jets to round things out. So let's go ahead and set up some things that I know I'm going to want in here. So first things first, the upgraded large laser. We're not going to do a PPC. We're losing a little bit of range with this, but we're not losing too much damage, and we're gaining 2 tons by doing this, because this is 5 tons. A PPC is going to be 7. Which we can see here. Yeah, 7. So we gain 2 tons with that. There's a medium laser in the head. We don't necessarily have to put it there, as we have other energy weapon slots. For example, we can move it to the arm. That would actually make it a more accurate weapon anyway. So let's do that. We'll put that. The advantage of putting it in the head is the head's less likely to be destroyed. I mean, if it is destroyed, the mech's dead anyway. So that would be the advantage of having a medium laser in the head. All right, we'll put it there for now. Okay, other things that we are going to possibly want to do. So, no, we're not going to want to do that, because if I go with the max small lasers, this would be a slot available to me. I'm going to put it here for now. We can always move it around. It doesn't make that much difference. Let's go ahead and get the amount of heat sinks that this thing would normally have. So we'll go 1, 2, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This should be a nice heat efficient mech. Okay, our missile system's here. I could put in a bigger missile system than we've used in the past, although we could use this upgraded LRM-5, which gives us more crit damage. Normally speaking, we'd have an LRM-5, which is 2 tons, and then plus 1 ton for the ammo. An LRM-10 would be 5 tons, so we'd have to strip stuff out to fit that in. I don't like that idea. Let's stick with the LRM-5 for now. Although, it might be a matter of, what do we want as far as this mech's capability? Do we want it to be a support mech? Do we want it to be a more of a brawler? Because I could set it up for that pretty effectively. Let's hold off on the missile system then. Let's do 1 more medium laser. And we'll stick it here for now. And if we were going to make this a brawler, I would do 2 small lasers. That's going to, ramp up how much melee damage this thing can do. But at this point, we are getting to a stage where 45 tons is not as heavy as it was when the campaign started. So this setup makes a little bit more sense in the early campaign, maybe not so much the late campaign. So that's why I would argue maybe go for a support mech instead, because I don't know how much this makes sense as is. But let's go ahead and get the 4 jump jets so that we get those capabilities back. Where would the jump jets normally be located? Let's take a look at that. So 1 in the right leg, 1 in the left leg, and then 2 in the center torso is the normal setup. We don't have to do the normal setup, but let's just, do that for the sake of argument for right now. Okay. So we still have a lot of tonnage left to work with, but we haven't done anything with a missile system. And this is more or less every other weapon system we put in here. This is maxed out. We've done all the energy weapons we possibly can. So at this point, I could set it up for the LRM-5, and there would be no issue with that. We'd even have a half a ton left to work with. So that would be... Then we need the ammo. There's LRM ammo. There it is. Where is the ammo normally? I'm going to put it here, but where is it normally? Probably in the same slot. Yeah, that's fine. There's plenty of things in here, so the likelihood this LRM ammo is going to get hit is less because of how many other things are in there. Okay, so our heat efficiency is, you know, not necessarily great, but you have to consider the fact that you've got medium lasers and, you know, small lasers that aren't going to be routinely used if you're firing at long range. Once you close in, obviously they'll start hitting, but then the LRM-5 won't. So there's that. So now we have a half a ton. So if we want to give ourselves a little bit more armor, we could do that. I could set this thing up, as I said, to be a little bit more of a support mech. But you know what? I kind of like this setup. It gives us decent long-range firepower that's pretty close to what the mech had as its default, but then it gives us a little bit more close-range firepower as well with that extra medium laser and an extra small laser. So I kind of like this setup. Let's go with this. Let's get our half a ton of armor here. So it looks like the left and right armor are as maxed out as they can be. Let's put a little bit more in the leg. Little bit more in the torso sections. And then this will probably finish it off. There we go. So we just did one tick and everywhere. Give us just that little bit more armor. And yeah, okay, I think this is all right. Let's confirm. It's going to take 13 days. This is a pretty substantial refit. But I kind of like it. I mean, it's close to the capabilities the Vindicator had before, but at the same time, you know, a little bit better in some ways. Okay, let's go ahead and get back on to moving here. So we're gonna have our financial report.
Ready to go over financials whenever you are.
So I think we have to save money because we're actually dipped below that 1 million now. So I am going to just go to normal. I mean, looking at that, looking at a cost of 355,000 with everything that we have. So let's go ahead and accept. We have enough other things that affect morale that I'm pretty happy where we are right now. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our mech warriors now. As we've just done our financials, I think it would be a good time to do the leveling up. All right, so Behemoth has 2,900 experience. I don't think we necessarily want to do anything with her.
Waiting for orders.
Decker is fine.
I hear ya,
Glitch is fine.
Commander.
I almost wonder if that maybe our backup pilots have a little bit too much experience. It's possible because I think it was like if they have more than 10,000 experience, it doesn't do anything. What do we want to do with Jalopy? I think we were going to have her be a backup gunner, right? So we would want to have bulwark. So if she stays still, she's not going to be a problem. So we'll do that. Confirm.
Mech warrior training complete.
Okay, Medusa is fine. And my pilot. I'm looking to get this ability, so I want to save up for it. So we need another 2,000 experience before we can do that. So I think we stick with what we've got. So there wasn't a lot of upgrading to do, but we're good to go now. Okay, let's go ahead and play till we get to the planet here. And we're probably going to have a little bit of story. Okay, I'm going to say not yet. So, we really didn't do any story things yet. But first off, I do want to take a little bit of a look at this system, because this is the first time we're here. What does it have to offer? So we're at a travel hub. It's poor, though. It's a battlefield, agricultural. Okay, so far so good. So travel hub might allow us to have some interesting things in the store. I don't actually know if you can buy anything in a store when you're at an enemy. You can, but because they hate us, it's a 50% price increase. You know, out of curiosity, is the directorate on this list? They're not, but I'm guessing maybe because you can't take contracts with them, it doesn't really matter. They're not on here for that reason. It would be interesting to see how much they hate us, but I guess, you know, again, it doesn't necessarily matter. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here because we're going to get into this mission, and it's probably going to be a longer mission. So, in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed. We got everything set up to do this contract mission. So, this is Mouse Gunner signing out.